What's up, everybody? How is everybody doing tonight? I'm Jason Guyman. I'm King of Pressure Wash, and tonight we're going to talk about pricing and how you are able to get $400 an hour, how you're able to get $500, right? How are you able to do this? And so, what brings me to this discussion is I had an awesome class this weekend. It was a very large class. I had some awesome people in my class. And so we talked about permanent lighting. We talked about landscape lighting. We did permanent lighting. We did landscape lighting. We did Christmas lights. We did pressure washing. We did marketing. I had an awesome guest that showed up that gave tremendous value. It was worth just him alone for you to be there, and not even his talking as the talking in the class, but at the dinner tables and different things as he spoke into two guys' lives. As I watched it happen, it's awesome to see it happen. Both of them are named Cody. One is from Greenfield that signed up the day 10 minutes after the first day started. He signed up that day and showed up. And so it is awesome to see how he did and what we got to do. And so we're going to talk about a lot about this, about pricing. How much are you valued, right? Are you worth $300 an hour? Are you worth $400 an hour? Are you worth $1,000 an hour? Are you worth $10,000 an hour? And I know people are like, well, Jason, you just don't understand. Well, let's talk about it because it's what I'm going to talk about tonight. So I am on day I don't know, 18, 19, still going 75 hard. And I've actually finished my first book. So my second book that I'm reading, and the reason why I'm reading this book is because Paul Gardner said he reads it 3 times a year, and he is very successful. So guess what? I am reading this book too, and it is Think and Grow Rich. And yes, I'm actually reading it. I'm not very far along. I'm still in the introductory, but I am going to finish this book. And if I got to read it 2 or 3 times a year, I will read it 2 or 3 times a year. So that way I can help this. And so this is definitely something that I would recommend you to read this book. I've listened to this book about 6 months ago or 8 months ago, and now I'm actually reading the book. So I would highly recommend this book. If you want to check it out, I do have a link at pressurewashhelp.com/store or books, I think. I don't know what it is, but I do have that book in my library of books. So before we get started, let's see who we got in the house. We got Woohoo Local Pressure Washing is in the house. Mr. Bubbles is in the house. Reporting for Action. That's right. He will be on the 15th, next Sunday. Next Sunday he will be on. I believe that's when he is coming on. It's in my calendar. I've had way too much stuff going on this week, and I've been very busy this weekend. So it was long days. So Friday we started at 8:30 in the morning and got done around 6:30, 7 o'clock is what time we left the house. On Saturday, Friday, we did Christmas lights, we did permanent lighting, and we did landscape lighting. On Saturday, we got out around 5 o'clock, 5:30. We started at 8:30, went to 5:30, and so we did marketing. Paul got up and spoke for about 2 hours on sales. I spoke some more on sales and a little bit of marketing. Paul got back up and spoke for another hour on how to sell, and then I finished up with the DISC and love language test for the people, so that way they got so much value that some of the guys that were in the class that were just there for the permanent lighting and landscape lighting he's like, that was a lot of information. I don't know how these guys are going to do Christmas lights too. And so this is a guy that's a veteran that's been in, Mr. Eric, out of Indiana, and does $750,000, $800,000 a year doing pressure washing and window cleaning on all the awesome stuff that he does down there. So it was cool to see some big heavy hitters in the class that come to the class and to come and learn. and it was cool to see them help the new guys out also. And so that was really cool to see. That's one thing that is cool when you go networking with other pressure washers. Most of them will help each other out, and it don't matter where you're at, where you're starting at. They will help you out and help you keep going. We got Mr. George Yost in the house. Big time is in the house. How are you doing? Hit that like button now, peeps. Show your appreciation. I appreciate that. We got Eastern House Wash. How you doing? I'm building here tonight. Hey, Jason and everyone. How you doing? Dream Team Exterior. Mr. Alex. What's up, Scott Ferguson? How are you doing? We got Big Rob in the house. Excellent book. It is an excellent book. That is one of my favorite books as well. You know, I love it. I love this book just in the introductory where it talks about the guy that was Mr. Dunn's. He was the dude that came within 3 feet of the gold rush. And he bought all the equipment and got 3 feet and gave up. And he learned that you know, you're going to hear no, but you got to keep pushing forward. And it's so true. It is so true. How to Win Friends and Influence People is a great book also by Mr. Carnegie. The most I ever made in pressure washing was $2,200 roof, and it took 1 hour. Awesome, awesome, awesome. What's up, Jason? We got lots of people. We got Keep It Clean. He's here at the airport. Mr. Edwin, he came to the class. When I hit 100,000, I want to be on. I want you to be on. Hello, everyone. Glad you had a great weekend. How's your 75 hard going with all the training? It was hard. I'm going to tell you. So I did almost like 19,000 steps on Friday. I woke up an hour early so I could do my first workout. And then when I came back at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, I did my second workout. And then before one night I was at 11:30 reading my book. And so I was very tired. Then Saturday morning, I got up early. I actually had a lot of things going on in my mind. I woke up at 4 o'clock on Saturday morning. So I went ahead and got up and did my walking and reading and everything in the morning. And then I was gone all day on my feet, another like 18,000 steps. And then I did my second workout at like 11 o'clock at night. And then on today, I just did I woke up early and then I just did my second one. I started reading some of it before I jumped on here, and so I got to read the rest of it. My diet I didn't cheat on my diet. I've been good on my water, so everything is going good. I believe I will be losing. Last week I didn't lose any weight. I'm at 254, which puts me down 65 pounds. This week I believe I will hit my 250. That's my goal. If I hit my 250, that is going to be awesome. What's up, Mr. Joey? How are you doing? Just got my signs delivered from moneybushes.com. Doing okay since diagnosed with anxiety disorder, prescribed meds that are seemingly starting to work. Well, good. That's awesome. That can be hard. So keep taking care of yourself. What's up, William? Got a bunch of jobs backed up from only doing the commercial, and that's awesome. He got his big job done. We got Mr. Richard in the house. Good deal on my fourth attempt at 75 hard. 10 second daily 45-minute workouts got past me due to my schedule. Too damn stubborn to tap out. Get it done somehow. That's right. A few depression and anxiety meds actually do anything to help. Look at studies, just FYI. All right, so let's get this ball on the road. So we talked about this a lot actually in the class. Paul hit on this a lot. And then someone had commented on one of my videos asking about how do you know what your worth is? How do you know how much you charge and how much are you worth? So the very first thing is you have to believe in you. If you don't believe in yourself, it doesn't matter what I tell you. It doesn't matter what I try to get across to you. If you don't believe that you're worth what you think you're worth, if you don't believe that you're worth $500, you will never shoot and strive for $500 an hour. It just doesn't happen. And this is a hard thing to understand because you have to get into the mindset of where you want to be and where you want to go. You know, a lot of times we believe that we're not worth it because of whatever reasons. And so, how do we, how do we set ourselves apart? How do we build value? You have to build value in yourself. And it's important that you build value in yourself. And this is something that I always, I struggle with it too today. I don't, I should be looking at I'm worth $10 million, right? That's where I want to be at. Because when I start thinking that I'm worth $10 million, guess what? I start doing things to make me get to $10 million. And yes, you might have to pay someone $50,000, $100,000 so that you can be worth $10 million. Maybe you want to be worth $1 million, right? Raise your bar. And I know sometimes we struggle. You might be thinking, Jason, you're crazy. I'm not where my last job I was working, I was only making $20 an hour. Well, you know what? You're worth way more than $20 an hour. I promise you. Being a business owner isn't easy. I never said it was, and I never said it would be. If you're good at showing up and doing what you need to do and doing that, you could be a great employee. But to be a business owner, you have to think and be a business owner. And it's not easy. It's tough. It takes hard work. It takes, especially in the beginning. Now, I'm not saying you got to work 60, 80 hours, 100 hours every week for the rest of your life, because some people do, and they're never home, right? And so as we build value, the value that you have and the value that you're worth, it's definitely important to know that you believe that you're worth that. And so one thing that I've thought about is, how do you know what adds value? What brings value to me to make me worth 300? What brings me value that makes me worth $500 an hour? And so this is something that, yeah, you're right, Nathan. It's easy to wash, right? That's no problem, is the washing part. But that's a $20 an hour task. And so this is something that we have to think about when we are doing this. And so when we think about this and we think about that, well, I'm not worth that much, because here's the thing. Do you show up? Do you say what you're going to do? Right? All of these little things add values. There's not one big thing like this makes you worth a whole bunch more. It's a bunch of little things. Do you answer your phone? Do you answer your phone on the first ring or the fourth ring? Do you call them right back, or do you wait till tomorrow to call them back? Do you how do you talk to them? How do how do you believe in yourself? If you believe that you're worth $500 an hour, you can get $500 an hour. And so this is something that makes you worth stuff, right? Because a lot of time we have self-limiting beliefs and we don't believe in ourselves. And if you don't believe in yourself, how can anybody else believe in you? And this is an important thing, because we want to sit there and think, well, to get $500 an hour, I need to, yes, you need to be awesome at what you do. And yes, you need to know your skill. And yes, you need to know your craft. But you also need to make sure that you know it well, right? Are you an expert in it? Have you taken the time to do it? Because here's the thing. Anybody with a pressure washer can wash a house, but do they have the expert skills? Do they know how not to kill anything? Do they have the property management? Do they have the network to get that job, right? How does that work? When I think about this, as I was thinking about this, I was thinking about also the book 10X is Better Than 2X. And what he says is you got to get rid of the 80% and focus on the 20%. And when you get rid of the 80% and focus on the 20%, those are the customers you want. You want to find more 20% customers, right? Because the 80% of the customers, they're the ones that are going to complain. They're the ones that don't want to pay nothing. Those are the ones that are going to want to haggle with you. Those are the ones that you don't want, right? How do we focus on getting the 20%? Maybe it's a certain type of client. Maybe it's pavers. Maybe it's concrete ceiling. Maybe it's, I don't know what it might be for you. It might be anything. And so this is something that we have to think about and look at this, so that way you can focus on the 20%. Because when we focus on the 20% and get rid of the 80%, guess what? You do less work, make more money, and that's the goal, right? How can we do less work, make more money, and be successful, have time freedom? Because money isn't everything, but money does help give us time freedom and financial freedom and all of those things, right? And so that is something, as I was thinking about this, I was thinking like, because Benjamin Gregory, right? Benjamin Gregory, I talk about him all the time. He focuses on the 20%. He focuses on the 10%. He focuses on the big giant jobs, right? He figured out how to get them, and he focuses on how to keep getting more big giant jobs. How do I get $100,000 jobs? How do I get $300,000 jobs? Because guess what? They're out there. You just got to go find them jobs. And it's not going to just fall in your lap. He did a lot of time putting into it. He posted 3 to 4 times a week on LinkedIn for a long time, for 2-3 years. But then it started paying off for him. He started commenting on people's stuff, and he started liking their stuff, and he started replying to their stuff. And guess what? In 2 to 3 years, he landed a $150,000 job, a $200,000 job, right? And so you can do the same thing, but you got to focus on the 20% and not the 80%. Because the 80% is some of the getting rid of the 80% is raising your prices, right? We just got to raise our prices and get rid of those low people. So because we don't do it. You know, I like also Chris Johnson. I haven't seen him on here yet, but Chris Johnson does this too, right? He focuses on there. His average ticket is $2,000. Another person's average ticket is $2,000 is Wesley, right? Wesley Bloom, average ticket $2,000. He's going to do $3.5 million this year. You don't get to $3.5 million by focusing on the 80%. You focus on the 20%, and guess what? You do less work, make more money, and guess what? You can put more money, you have more time, more freedom, all of those things because you focus on the right things. When we focus on the 80%, we don't focus on where we need to be at, right? That's why we need to do that. So Chris is in here. So he must have heard me talking about him. But this is an important part when we do this is focusing on the 20%. Are we going to close everybody? No, we're not. But if we close the 20%, we can get our average ticket up to $2,000. We can get $5,000 tickets on a regular basis. We can get $4,000 tickets on a regular basis, right? And so it's important that we focus on the 20%. And to be able to do that, you got to believe you're worth it, right? If you don't believe you're worth $5,000, you'll never make $5,000. If you don't believe you're worth $1,000, guess what? You'll never make $1,000 in a job because if you don't believe that you're worth it, you don't believe that your worth is $1,000. You don't believe that your time is worth $1,000. And if you don't believe it, nobody else believes it. And it can be seen a mile away, right? So you have to believe that you're worth that. You got to put the due diligence in. You got to do a great job. You know, how do we add value? We show up on time. We answer the phone. We do what we say we're going to do. We have 1,000 5-star reviews, 500 5-star reviews. You have all kinds of stuff, right? All kinds of stuff. And so fresh start, pressure washing and painting. Appreciate it, Jason. So this is something that you have to think about when we are looking and bidding jobs. And even who are we marketing to? Because if we're not marketing to the $5,000 customers, guess what? You're not going to get them. Benjamin Gregory, if he wasn't marketing to the $100,000 jobs, he wouldn't get them. If he wasn't marketing to the $200,000 jobs, he wouldn't get them, right? It's important that we look and market to who we want to, right? Where do we want to go at? And some of this is who are you hanging around with? If you're hanging around with a bunch of poor people, guess what? It's hard to get out of that struggle. It's hard to get out of that struggle. So it's important that you make sure you do what you say you're going to do. You do it awesome. You have awesome crews. You have awesome reviews, and you'll have awesome people. Guess what? People will want you to pay you $500 an hour to come do their stuff. Now, are there people that won't want you to? Sure there is, because you always got $99 guys. If you didn't have $99 guys, then there wouldn't be no catfish at the bottom of the lake, right? The bottom suckers. You got to have bottom suckers because it's a cycle. We want the people that rise to the top, right? Because if we make the $500 an hour, guess what? We can pay our employees a living wage. We can give them, we can pay them $70,000, $100,000 a year. Yes, you can pay your employees $70,000, $100,000 a year. You might say, Jason, I don't even make that much. Okay, what if they did? How much would you be making then? If they made 70, 100,000, how much could you be making at that point? Probably way more, right? Because you're not thinking big enough. You thinking too small minded. You got to open your brain and start thinking big, right? Think and grow rich, right? Think and grow big. That's how you can do this. So as we do this, the most common pitfall for this is underpricing, right? You underprice your stuff. You're like, man, I'm only worth $100 an hour, so I guess that job will be $500 and it takes you 10 hours because that is, you don't understand how much you're worth. The worth of a business as a sum of hard work and service and customer satisfaction, right? How much is what the worth of the business? Do you do great customer service? Do you have 500 5-star reviews? Do you have 5-star reviews? Do you have 100 5-star reviews? Right? If you have twice as many 5-star reviews as your next competitor, you should be twice as expensive, not twice as cheap, right? You should be twice as expensive as that competitor then. Not the same price. I didn't say the same price. I said you should be twice as expensive. Rather you read the book 10X is better than 2X, or you read Alex Hormozi and you watch him, he talks about this too, working on the 20%, not working on the 80%, but working on the 20%. It works, I promise you. When you figure this out and you're like, you know what, I'm going to charge $300 an hour, $500 an hour, and you're there and you do less work and you do less jobs and you make more money, and you have more time and you have less chemical costs, less employee costs, less everything else. It just works. It's awesome. I promise you, it's awesome. What's your selling proposition? Are you selling pressure washing or are you selling to the person? How are you selling to it? And I know this is one that I've hit on this like a big old drum, but there's a reason why. Because, I get people talking in our class, and today I didn't get to do it much this weekend because I knew we would just had way too much going on, but I didn't have as much going on today. So today I had them do the knocking on the door and talking to the customer, and I had people in the room that didn't like it, right? They didn't like getting up and talking to somebody else. I'm like, well, if you can't talk to this person, there ain't no way you're gonna be able to talk to a customer, right? So that's why I made them get all up, and Tim was in the back of the room, and he was one that he's an older gentleman, and I could tell that he was an introvert and didn't like it, right? And so he was like, I got to do this too. I'm like, yep, you got to do it too, because if you got to get uncomfortable, if you're not willing to get uncomfortable, then that's an issue, right? And so he was talking about it, and then we always bring two people up in the front and let them do it, and everybody critique. And so, this comes back to how well do you do customer satisfaction? How well are you at customer satisfaction? Are you selling pressure washing? Or are you selling? So we were doing the door knocking, and the knocking on the door as if you were the technician to come clean. Well, one of the guy does it as the sales process. He does it as whatever, right? And so as he's doing this, I'm like, well, you failed because we're actually knocking on the door. But so I was able to talk about it because he went straight to selling it, right? He didn't go at selling the product. He didn't go at selling his value. He didn't go at knowing the person and asking the question and figuring out their disc and figuring out their love language. And so that way we can give them what they want, right? We didn't give them what they want. And so, the one guy that he was knocking his door on, he was talking about, we knew what his love language is because we already figured out that it was It was I can't think of the word. Giving them, talking about them, right? Telling them how awesome they are. I was like, you can stroke, and I started talking about how awesome Cody was, and he just lights up like a light bulb. I'm like, see how his that reaction did by me just lighting him up and giving him stuff, and it was like, this is something that you figure out, right? What did Chris put? You only learn when you figure out what you don't know. If you think I've got this, you will never learn. This is so true. I, you know, if you think you know everything about the pressure washing business, then I'm not for you, right? Because it's not about, you don't know everything. I don't know. Yeah, words yes, you're right. And so I don't know everything. No, there's things that I don't know. I'm still learning because I am still learning because that's what I do, right? I learn so I can help you guys grow bigger and so that you can start and grow and have a successful business. So that's what I do because you guys are awesome and I want to help you guys get to where you want to be at. I loved we had almost 35, 37 people there yesterday. It was a huge class, huge class, huge class. And so, there was there was a couple employees and spouses and different things, but it was still a big class. And so it was fun to see how much people are learning and growing. And I don't, and even this weekend there's been a lot of people that come to this class have been to past class before because they want it. They're learning and growing, and guess what, you will be successful when you do this. It's awesome. So a man does what he's supposed to do, not what he feels like doing. And how disciplined are you? And discipline goes in a lot of different ways, right? Are you disciplined in your health? Are you disciplined in your financials? Are you disciplined in your business? Do you feel like I'm not feeling like coming to work today? Well, guess what? Get up and get moving. Don't sit there. Don't lay on the couch. That's important. Understanding your cost. How much does it cost you to do a job? Or do you just go and guess, right? Do you just be like, well, I think today we're going to charge $99, right? Understanding your cost is important. It makes a big difference. All right. See what we got up here. If you all got any questions, you can ask. I will be running down through here. Put a lot of signs out. I might hit your big number. Sweet. That's awesome, dude. Word of mouth make you worth more. You have to believe that you are great and achieve greatness. If not believe that, you will always dream. A dream is only a dream unless pursued. Yep, I agree. You don't become confident by screaming affirmative in the mirror, but by having a stack of undeniable proof that you are who you say you are. We just quoted $102,000 apartment complex. See, there's jobs out there. You got to go find them. Where's the big fish at? Where's the big white whale at? You think doing the small jobs, testing methods for the big contract, but do you cut off small contracts or get a crew? I don't know what that. Well, I don't know what you're asking there. I mean, raise your prices. Raise your prices. That's what I say. Raise your prices. One thing that I held me back was being contempt. Always saying, as long as I make more than the job I left, was putting a cap on my greatness. No more. I really do. I really to be great for my family. And this is so true, Jamie. I agree 100%. We talk to ourselves with words because words matter. You might say, man, I'm not that worth that much. Guess what? You're not. If you don't believe it and you tell yourself you're not worth it, you're right. You're not worth it. And so it's important that we make sure that we talking to ourselves and we give ourselves words of affirmation that Hey, you know what? Not I hope I'm going to get there. I am this. I am that. I am a great husband. I am a great father, right? Because words matter. And how you say these words definitely matter. Because if you're like, man, someday I hope I get there, guess what? You're probably not going to get there. Hoping ain't going to get you there. Because what are you going to do to get there? And so that's some things to think about. How much you are worth and how much it actually cost you. Alex is great. Alex Hormozy is a great person. I love listening to his podcast. How do you market to the 20% with them being likely to have other people for them to hire? You do LinkedIn, you do where they're at. Might be their neighborhoods. That's how you get to 20%. You instead of going to the low people's neighborhood, you're going to the high people's neighborhood. You learn when you figure out what you don't know. If you think I've got this, yes. Sell the experience your company provides, not pressure washing. Words of affirmation. Mr. Bubbles. A man does what he is supposed to do, does not know how it feels like doing. Go to the gym when you don't feel like it. Go put out yard signs when you don't feel like it. Stop thinking with your emotions. Go take action. Go do a live. Go do something hard. Write it down. Write a goal. Hey, I'm going to do something that I don't want to do. I'm going to go do 5 lives in the next 5 weeks. Right? That's what I'm going to do because I'm scared to death and I don't want to do it. Go do it. Guess what? I bet you it will pay off in the end. And you've not, you learned a lot. I promise you will learn something. Know your numbers, profit margin, and P&L statements each job. Yep. That's a lot to you. Jason, need to talk to you ASAP on my Google presence. Okay. Send me an email or actually text me. Text me at this number 859. If you everybody else text me King, but you text me this number 859-696-1101 and just put your name in there so I know who it is. Well spoken. Thank you for the super chat. Can't wait for the huge, man. I'm pumped. See you there, Kristen. You and Tristan and a bunch of us should have lunch, drink something one night at network. I agree. Maybe we'll try to do something with the see what we can do. I'm in. Jason, put a castle in the background since you're the king of pressure washing. Write down your goals. This is huge. A lot of people don't do this. This is important. Write down your goals. Get a vision board. If you don't know what a vision board is, look it up. But get pictures of where you want to be at. What house you want to be at. What cars you want to drive. How many kids you want. How much, whatever it is. Write it down. Do a vision board where you can see it over and over and over and over. It works. I promise you. It works. I promise you, it works. If you aren't being told your price is too high, your prices are too low. Yeah, if your close rate is 70, 80, 90%, you're too high or you're too low. Raise your prices. Well, I'm already at $500. Raise your prices. Raise them. Raise them. Um, is anyone getting spam calls from Google saying their account is not being verified or suspended? Man, your name came up this weekend. I told a couple stories on you. Actually, I tell a lot of stories about you because I tell about the chemicals of you putting some lemon smelly stuff in your bleach tank and what it did. If you're a single guy, 2-guy employee type guy that can make $200,000 a year with very little issues, or is it worth expanding your business with more employees making $500,000? It's all in what you want. What happens if something happens to you, right? Is it still going to be a business? What if you trip and fall over your night shoes and break your leg, and what happens to you? Still trying to find you on Facebook, Tristan. If you work on achieving your vision, it works. Find me the gym. I'm friends with Jason. Or find my. Oh yeah, if you find me, and then you can find him. Mato, yes, every day. So, um, while you all are putting, if you all got any questions, want answered, let me know. But if you want to know when I go live, type King, King, to 859-696-1101. It'll put you on a list. It'll get you there. It'll send you a couple texts, and then I will text you every time I go live. So I go live on Wednesday nights and Thursday, or Wednesday nights and Sunday nights is when I go live. Also, if you want to check out kingofpressurewash.com, I've got all kind of resources on there. You can go to the resource tab, and on the resource tab, there's all kinds of information of different things, different tools that you may want or use for different things. And then also you can check out King of Pressure Wash for the mentorship or the membership. And in the membership, there's all kinds of great tools and stuff in there. I've got over 100 videos of telling you how to start and grow your business. Plus, you get every Monday night marketing. We talk about, there's about 20 to 40 people, depending on the week, of how to grow a pressure washing business and how to be successful in it. So that is awesome also. If you do need a website, I know there's been people asking about websites, and I'm like, if you do need a website, you can go check out kingofmarketing.io. Kingofmarketing.io. I think I did. Will SH destroy a copper roof accents? Yes, it will. It can be very bad on them. It can actually eat through them. SH and copper don't mix well. SH and copper don't go well at all with each other. It can be very bad. It's going to turn it. It's going to turn it really green, and it can turn it black to the bad spots. So it can definitely mess up copper. So if you're messing with copper at all with bleach, you either got to really wet it down or you got to really be careful with it, because the copper and SH do not go well with each other at all. Not at all. I promise you, it ain't good. Actually, I had a guy in my mentorship. He called me and freaking out because there were some windows that had screens that were copper and they turned green, and they were used to be black, and that wasn't good. So he had to try to get them back to black, and it's not. And we tried a bunch of stuff, and they still didn't get back to black. So you got to be careful with the copper stuff. It sucks. It really does suck. Um, or just don't mess with it. Yeah, exactly. How can you tell if a customer has copper gutters? It can be hard. Some of them don't always look copper. They're especially when they're patine, they're kind of a black color, and so usually you can tell though they don't look the same. But they can be hard. A lot of your copper ones will be like the rounded ones, but not all of them. But most of them will be like the rounded ones. Is one way that you can tell that they're copper. Speaking of websites, I edit service pages and location pages, got them indexed and crawled. Bam, rankings went way up. Thank you. See, told you. Mr. Ron Roby, what is up? What is called? How's Mr. Ron doing? Message me. I remember my whole garage about to explode. Gym teacher dodgeball, coach night chemist, but I'm learning. So the story of this is Mr. Al went and he decided that he was going to put some smelly stuff in his bleach tank. And in his bleach tank, he decided that the lemon smell is what he wanted. So he put some lemon smell stuff in his bleach tank. Well, the lemon stuff was actual lemons, and there's acid in it, and the acid from the lemon stuff and the bleach don't mix well together. And so it got so bad that he had to open the garage door, and the tank was so hot you couldn't touch the tank. So that's why you don't mix stuff if you don't know if they don't mix well, right? If they don't play well, they don't play well. That's just what we got to remember. I had a lady who had copper on a low roof. She asked if I could make it green. I put SH on it, and she was like, "Wow, that was fast." Yeah, SH will definitely speed that process up very fast. Very fast. Google scanning your site is the index to be searched, basically. Yep. Do you have a quote? Do you have a quote? Do you quote a roof job the same if it's not really dirty and can get it clean with the 3% and not 6%? Yep. I'm going to charge it the same. I'm not going to go cheaper. It's dirty. Why am I going to charge cheaper for? And I'm only going to clean the effective sides. I'm not even going to clean the whole roof, but I'm still going to charge like I clean the whole roof, and I'll give them a 3-year warranty on the whole roof. Question. I know my production hourly rate, but how do you figure out the square footage prices? What numbers do I need to track? So what I guess my first question is what is your production hourly rate, right? And then how do you figure out square footage pricing? So I like to do like anywhere from 25 to 40 cents for house washing, and that's going to get you in a pretty good area. If you're around 30 cents for concrete cleaning, that's going to put you in a pretty good area of where you're at. And roof cleaning, I'll do about 40 to 45 cents a square foot for roof cleaning. True story. Mustard gas. So, what? Okay, thanks. But any other questions before I jump off here? So, again, we had an awesome class. You missed out if you didn't make it. I promise you, there was a ton of information. It was awesome. Paul was awesome. I gave lots of information. So, it is definitely something that, what's this here? Finally started the pressure washing business and did very well the first 2 months. Thanks, Jason, Judd Carter. That's awesome, Judd. I know it has been a while, but it's awesome. Anyone using AI marketing? Yep, probably a lot of people. Anybody do monthly subscription for pressure washing? That's something that you can do too. It's not a bad idea. You once said that one of your goals is to have 1,000 people make $100,000 in pressure washing. Where are you with that goal? I'm going to keep fighting to be one of those people. So I have not tracked it, and I need to do that. That's something that I need to set up and start tracking. I need to just set up a page where I can have people come and do it. So that's what I need to do, and I've failed at doing it. Um, I'm excited for light season. Light season is going to be fun. Are you selling tickets for the huge? I am not selling tickets for the huge. Actually, I am giving away a ticket for the huge. And if you go to kingofpressurewash.com/giveaway, and the G has to be large, I believe. So if you go to kingofpressurewash.com/giveaway with a capital G, I'm going to give one huge ticket away next or on Wednesday. So if you want to go to chance to win for the huge, you go to kingofpressurewash.com/giveaway, and I'm going to give that away on Wednesday. I'm beginning to do more graffiti removal. What's the best price for graffiti cleaning, different sizes? Yeah, that's tough to, I mean, I charge a lot because that product has went up a lot. I used to charge a lot when the product wasn't a lot. And so I charge a lot for that. You said you have online instructions for lights. I my it's not done yet. I am working on it right now. My goal is to get a lot of it done this week. I got a lot of the videos shot, but I've got to get them uploaded and put in here. And I've started working on it. I've been working on it for about 3 weeks now. My goal was to get it done by July 1st. That didn't happen. This week, as long as the wheels don't fall off of nothing, I should be able to get a lot done this week. I appreciate y'all. Keep working hard. It's showing. Do you sell reviews? Four horsemen. No, do not buy reviews. Um, do not buy reviews. And no, I do not buy reviews. I don't even, I won't even give you something if you give me a review. Like, hey, give me a review and I'll give you this $10,000 pressure. You enter to win a $10,000 pressure washer. Sometimes I struggle with raising my prices due to the fact that I have so many bills at times. How do I overcome that type of hurdle? Just do it. Just do it. You're losing money by not doing it. That's the thing. You're losing money by not doing it. I am on that list too. Let's go. $100,000. Let's do it. You can do it. You are going to do it. What is indexing? That's when the website is, that's when Google looks through it. Nathan, when Google visit a page, it will process and record it in the search result. A page or site cannot show in the search result until Google has recorded the index. Yep, that's pretty much what it is. Me too, Jamie. Great class this weekend. It was a great class. How do you charge the cleaning of rust, oil, stain removal? How much? A lot. It depends on how big it is, what you're dealing with, how much it is. I used to do like if a driveway had rust in it and I would use F9, we would do the whole driveway. And you have to do it. You have to clean and seal it because if you don't seal it, it's going to cause it to come back. And so we were charging $2.50 a square foot for cleaning and sealing and doing rust removal on it. Good. Thank you, Jason. See you next week. Has anyone had problems with Google reviews not showing up? Yep, there's a lot of people have problems with that. When would be a good time for anyone to quit their day job if it's getting in the way of your business? Whenever you're ready to pull the trigger. This is, I mean, if you're going to do Christmas lights, obviously that would help you get through the winter months. But you got to remember, you got to get through the winter months. And here's the worst case scenario is you can go drive Uber. Who was it? Oh, Rick was telling me. Rick started his business 3 years ago, and so Rick is a guy out of New York. He's an old guy, can't do nothing with electronics, and so he started his business and he just quit, just wound up quitting, started a pressure washing window cleaning business. And so his first year he had to go drive Uber during the wintertime so that he could keep making money. But then once the spring started, he got going again and never worked Uber again and has done very well with it. So that's what he's done. But other than that, go check out kingofpressurewash.com/giveaway with a capital G. And that is where you can enter to win a free ticket for the huge. You can also go check out King of Pressure Wash. If you'd like to know when I go live, text me at 859, text King at 859-696-1101. And then also, what's this here? Customers acquisition cost signs. If you need any money bushes work great. Go check out moneybushes.com. But other than that, hope you all have a great night, and we'll see you all later.